Hi everyone, I'm Heidi Eager. I'm a beginning farmer in southeast Minnesota, and I'm here with my friend Janine and my friend Brad, who's currently behind the camera, and we're here to talk about the project that I'm doing that was funded by the Good Idea grants.
What's the project?
So the project is we are thinning a 2-acre section of woods that's between a rotationally grazed field and a neighbor's cornfield. And so it's a big drainage area. All of the water collects and runs through this little woods area. In the last 15 or so years, there were no animals on the land, and so a lot of brush grew up. And so we're seeing some pretty significant erosion, and we're hoping that by intervening early with a low-cost solution, we can stabilize the gully and prevent having nutrients running off into Weisel Creek, which is a trout stream, and avoid expenses in the future of having to stabilize a really big gully. I have been renting this land for the last 3 years, and just in that time, I've seen the erosion get a lot worse. And this isn't an area that I'm in a lot, so for me to have noticed, it was pretty substantial. And last year was a drought, and so for the erosion to get worse in a drought felt pretty significant. And my goal as a beginning farmer is the thing I love most, is working with my sheep to do habitat restoration. And so what a match made in heaven, being able to stabilize the gully and work with the sheep.
And hopefully we'll be able to see this, but what do the sheep think about it?
The sheep are jazzed about brush. I think a lot of people think only goats will eat brush, and to me the major difference, at least between my breed of sheep and my friends' goats that I've observed, is the goats will go up on their back legs and pull things down, and the sheep won't. So in a project like this where we cleared brush manually and they're managing the regrowth, they're a perfect tool.
And can you talk just a minute about why is it grass that you want to grow?
Yes. So grass, with its really fine root system, is better at holding soil. So the big trees are sort of like big stabilizers, and then you want to get dappled light so that the grass can grow, since it will hold on to little bits of soil and stop that gully from eroding.
Nice. Can we see it?
Yes, please. So this is actually a fun area to look at. The sheep grazed early in the spring. We did some garlic mustard management. They won't eat it really when it's down on the ground, but when it starts to flower, then they love it. Okay. It was too wet to get through the rest of the woods. This was sort of like a test spot. So you can see the grass is coming in really nicely here, and it kind of always has been better here than farther on. But then we'll keep walking and we'll see stuff they haven't grazed at all. Cool. So the sheep are coming here next, and right now they're over in this section. So they've been in this section for 24 hours. And it looked like over there before, and now it looks like this. Wow. I'm really grateful to have woods edge to graze, because this week right now it's going to be 80 today and 93 on Monday or something, and so it's really nice to have shade for them. Mm-hmm. And also just the diversity of different plants have different nutrients, and so it's good for them to eat a bunch of things. I'm going to frost seed in some shady pasture mix, try and get a jump start on the grasses. In some spots, I'm going to try hoeing down the length of the gully, breaking up the soil. I maybe will try mulching in some places, just getting a sense of what works, what doesn't.
Well, and that makes me want to ask too, at this stage of the project, what do you feel like did work, and were there some things that you would do differently if you were to start from scratch or give advice to someone who wanted to do something similar?
Yeah, I am very thrilled that I got to hire someone to clear. I felt very daunted, and he's a professional. He could just walk through and be like, oh yeah, I know exactly how to start. So for me, that felt great. The sheep are doing a great job managing regrowth. I think the thing that has felt the hardest is just seeding timing. Like I thought, oh, maybe I should do it in the spring, but then the sheep weren't in here, so things were pretty grown up. And then I was just always worried that if we get a really heavy rainstorm, all of the seed will get washed away. So I think that's the main reason that I'm hoping that a winter seeding is a good fit.
Yeah. And what about impact? At what point do you think you'll start seeing a difference with erosion?
I am hoping, I sort of feel like maybe I'm giving myself too much credit, but I feel like this year there's already, I would say, double the amount of grass than there was last year. We haven't had as many heavy rainstorms, but it has felt a little bit more like the grasses are being pushed over, but there aren't big standing pools of water. And then there's a frog pond that the water runs into. Last year, a couple of times it turned this like insanely fluorescent green, I think from nutrient runoff. And this year it has stayed just slightly muddy if it rains too hard.
This is such a cool project. Thanks for sharing it.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
And congratulations.
Thank
it looks
you.
great.
It feels
I
so
look
good.
forward to coming back and seeing it again next year.
Yes.